Hi everybody, Randy McKee here with Soccer Channel 1. I got a really big treat for you today. I'm with a very good friend of mine and probably the guy who I think is probably the most influential youth soccer coach ever in South Dakota, Daniel Ohayon from Sioux Falls. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Randy. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. I can't wait to get you on the hot seat so we can really ask you some tough questions. But anyway, you're going to enjoy this. Hopefully we'll have enough to break it into three segments for you, but Danielle's got a really interesting soccer story, and I can't wait to have him tell that to you. First, Danielle, you know, I think everybody can probably tell that you probably weren't raised in South Dakota. So tell us a little bit about where you're from and your childhood.
I was born in Morocco. And I left when I was an infant, and I moved to France when I was 3 years old. My family went to go to France. We went to France, and I started obviously my childhood in France.
And how long did you live there?
Oh, I lived until I was 21, 22 years old, and when I came to the U.S.
So what was it like being a kid growing up in France?
It was wonderful. It was very, very good. I started playing soccer when I was 5 years old, and being in France gave me that opportunity to play soccer in France. And it's a very fun country to be in. It's a very fun country to be in. Passionate about the game, passionate about life, passionate about food. It was really an enjoyable childhood, very enjoyable childhood.
So they probably, when you were growing up, they probably had really what they like to spread around the world and call a good street culture, good soccer street culture.
Very street culture, very street oriented, barely organized until you were a little bit older when you decided to make soccer really part of your life.
Yeah. And so you probably at some point then in your youth got involved in a club or something like that?
Yeah, like I said, I started at the youth level, 5 years old, and again it was very, street, still within some what we call neighborhood organization. Kids got together, and when I was a little older, maybe 10, 11 years old, I took it a little bit more seriously, and I became part of a club in south of France called Nice OGCN, which is that's where I spent the majority of my youth until I made a different choice and wanted to go have a little more and do a little more. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you were a goalkeeper, right?
I was a goalkeeper, and I've been playing goalkeeper since I was 5 years old. 16-year-old, I signed my first what they call apprenticeship contract. And people think that because you sign a contract at 16-year-old, you think it's all flower and roses. It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. You've got to kind of shine the shoes of the first team, hang up there, pick up after the crap, and make sure that the locker room is really, really clean. But on a more positive aspect of it is that you get an opportunity to see those players, to be with these players, to be around those players, train side by side with those players. And this is really what I was looking for. This is what I was striving for.
So very much worth it, wasn't it?
Very much so. Very, very much so. So you play in a club, you play in the academy with a club, then they send you back to the younger level, and you play on the weekend, and you come back during the week and you train with the team.
Yeah, wonderful. So, and then as you got a little bit older, then you kind of moved into the professional ranks?
That's correct. At 16-year-old, I signed my first contract, apprenticeship contract, and then 18-year-old, I became a full-fledged professional, and I had the greatest opportunity of my life, and I played for the under-21 French national team.
Wow. For
the under-21. I played there for 2 years, played in many of the international tournaments, and that was the phoenix of my life.
Yeah. So you probably got a chance to play with some guys that really went out and did big time.
Very much so. Very, very much so. With some French goalkeepers, I went to big time, made it to the national team. Some players made the national team and played side by side, sat on a bench with them. It was a very eye-opening experience, very educating, very positively educating experience.
You know, I guess back in '98 or after France won the World Cup, one of the highlights of my career was being able to sit in a room with just a few guys with Aimé Jacquet. And it was astounding to me the amount of science that they put in France into
Yes.
the athlete.
Very much so. They have a center, the Clairefontaine Center, where you have physios, the psychologists, you have doctors. You are the cast, the support cast, is awesome. As a matter of fact, now it's becoming, even in the United States, is becoming a very big part of the team. They have in France, we have cook travels with the team. You have the masseurs with the team, you have the physio with the team, and the supporting cast is wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, this is their lives. It's their lives.
Yeah. Well, and if you're going to be at the top level, you got to do it.
You have exactly. Yeah. And and one thing that was very consoling and very rewarding is that a lot of the funds and a lot of the money trickled down from the first team down, but it also trickled down from the top, from the French Federation. They had to participate and they had to give money and trickle money down into the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's something that, unfortunately, we don't see too much, in the United States.
Yeah, it's getting there, though. I think
it's getting there. It's getting there. But again, when the academy now is becoming a big part of it. Some of the, for the league, the MSL, I'm sorry, the MLS academy. Yeah.
So if you could, if I could ask you, in your later youth years, 18, 19, in there, do you have a couple big memories there that you could share with us that you'll always carry with you?
Well, unfortunately, I did not have a major moment. Okay, the only thing I can say is that we had our winnings. We beat Belgium, we played Russia, we played Moldavia. So those are some of the countries that we played against. But I cannot say that I had a very, very scintillating moment where I can say I won it all.
Yeah.
It was all games after games. But and then at one time, unfortunately, my career got unfortunately ended because of an accident. Mm-hmm. in a soccer game.